I am so very excited for this video because it's inspired by an international holiday, not just a holiday in the USA, but an international holiday. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. Today is going to be another awesome, wonderful prompt for Top 5 Wednesday. But in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, in a nutshell, basically each week I answer a prompt using 5 books, but in this case I use manga to reflect the said prompt. And today's prompt is books written by women because today is International Women's Day. So of course we have to celebrate for Top 5 Wednesday, and I am so very excited. My goal for this Top 5 Wednesday is I could only feature manga written by women where I have more than one of their series. This was a little bit more challenging than I expected because I'm like, I don't know. It's like I could definitely think of like other series by some of these manga, but I did in fact find two series by each of these creators. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the first one. For number 1, we are saying Momoko Koda, and she wrote my special one as well as one of my favorite series from last year that released, and that is No Longer Heroine. It's very interesting when I compare these work because I've been talking to my friend Pippa at Strawberry Shoujo on Instagram and how I definitely see her like signature touch on both these series because I feel like she has a really interesting way of flipping tropes, or maybe they're not that way, but like when I think of these series, okay, so with Hattori and No Longer Heroine, I don't feel like she's the most admirable character, and she has some really interesting delusionals. I love this series. It's such a hot mess, but it's so incredibly good. Compared to my special one, I do feel like, what is her main girl's name? Sahako. I do feel like she has more admirable qualities, but I feel like when you meet both girls, it is not like an instant love for that heroine, which I feel like is pretty critical and important when it comes to a shoujo series. But usually you see some flaws in both of our main girls, and I surprisingly really love that about this manga's work because I feel like it gives a chance for both of characters, or just our characters in general, where you see them at their worst before you see them at their best. And I just find that really interesting. Also, her art style is so funny, especially in No Longer Heroine. If you know, you know. Hattori's expressions are so good. They are gold. And I just really love the way that she writes in general. We have a little bit more that I was trying to find. It's been a little bit since I've actually read my special one because I read an early copy of this digitally, but we do have our typical, or her typical style with the very funny panels. And I just love how like with this one, you have a heroine who is so against pretty guys and doesn't want anything to do with them and actually prays. Like that's literally in the opening pages where she prays for them to turn ugly. And it's just like, what? Like I was so taken aback by that, but it was what instantly hooked me in. And I was like, I want to know why she feels this way. And then when Koda, who is our idol, comes in and he's so cheerful and upbeat and very kind, and he's like, I'm gonna do everything I can for you to like me, it makes this very interesting story. And so I really enjoy that. And I feel we see a little bit of a similar premise in No Longer Heroine because Hattori loves, what is his name? Oh my gosh, I forgot the guy's name. Rita, there you go. She loves Rita. Rita does not love her. So I love just how the tropes are handled. I feel like they're flipped enough on their head where it's always different. There's always a surprise in every, I mean, I've read volume 2 and 1 of No Longer Heroine, and I've only read volume 1 of my special one, but volume 2 releases in a few months. I don't remember, but I definitely have that one pre-ordered. I really love this manga's work, and I was like, she has to be featured first because I feel like anytime I read her stuff, I know it's going to be a joy to read. I know I'm going to laugh. I know there's going to be plenty of surprises, and that has just not been proven otherwise. So I cannot wait for more volumes in both of these series. For number 2, I'm going to feature Kyosuke Motomi, and she wrote Beastmaster as well as Queen's Quality, and I think she's more well known for her other series, was it Thinkin' Daisy, which I have not read that, but I have loved both of these. Beastmaster I actually have a review of on this channel. I've read this quite a few times. I was trying to think like what is her signature touch to her series, and it's hard to say because I feel like Beastmaster is so different than Queen's Quality, but I do feel like the heroines are similar when it comes to her touch. Like they're very different, but like they are very strong young women who are very caring and very compassionate. They seek to help those around them. Both of her her guys in these series are absolutely amazing. Like, I could definitely say that. Like, she could write some really great, strong heroes that are not afraid to get emotional. I really have appreciated that, especially in Beastmaster and Queen's Quality from what I've read as well. Like, you're gonna see a guy cry, and I feel like that's okay. It's encouraged, or maybe not encouraged, but like it's shown it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with a young man or a man in general that cries. And I'm just like, thank you, because I definitely think that needs to be told more. But yes, I wanted to feature her because I'm really excited that I'm just like, I have 2 series by this manga. Even like I said, they're so different. I feel like they're very night and day. So if you've read both of these series and you're like, Laura, you are just floundering here on finding her signature touch, please comment down below and tell me, what do you feel that this manga's signature touch is? Because I would love to know. I definitely would love to read Dank and Daisy because I feel like it's very iconic and it's very loved. I don't know if my library has it though, so I'll have to look into that. For number 3, I'm going to say Kaho Miyasaka, and she has written Golden Japanesque, A Splendid Yokohama Romance, and Kare First Love. So I have not read Kare First Love, so I can't say much about this, but I loved Golden Japanesque. Are there issues with it that I've seen recently on Twitter? Yes, I think there is. There's definitely instant love, and there's a few other things. I love it. I love it. Like, this series is beautiful. It's heart-touching, heart-moving, heartwarming, just all of those things, and I really, really love the main character, and I love the romance, and I'm just like, I really, really hope that we get more volumes because I think we have up to volume 5, and I think it ends at volume 6, but it's currently on hiatus, and I'm just like, I hope we get it soon because I really love her work. It's actually why I picked up Kare First Love, because I was talking to a friend, her name is Jackie on Twitter, and I'll leave her like URL down below if you like to check it out because she's so sweet. She has been such a joy to talk to. But we both were gushing about Golden Japanesque and how much we love this series, and she's like, yeah, I'm trying her other series, Kare First Love, and I was like, you know what? If Jackie's reading it, I want to try it too. And so I went on a hunt to try and track the series down physically, but I have heard nothing but glowing things about this series. What I have read has been very enjoyable. I feel like this manga definitely puts drama in her series, but it's not like I don't like this. I'm like, I'm feeling some angst. I'm feeling some like upset, but I really want to know more. And her series is definitely one, like, once you start, you cannot put it down. And she writes, it seems so far, pretty short series because Golden Japanesque is going to be 6 or 7 volumes. Kare First Love is only 10. And I am so eager to start this. I was going to start this, and then I was like, you know what? We're going to go read those Not So Sweet Boys, which I do have a video review coming here very soon. So enjoyable. I almost featured her today, but I'm like, well, since I have a review coming, let's feature something else. So I am so excited to start this. I love her art style. It's so beautiful. Look at these heroines. They are so gorgeous. I love them. I love her art style, and I cannot wait to read it. I cannot wait to read it. So I can't say much of what is this manga's signature touch in her series, but I am looking forward to reading Kare First Love so that I can officially know. For number 4, I feel like this is almost mandatory for this and featuring female authors because of course I have to feature Io Sakisaka, and I'm going to feature with Oh Haru Ride and Strobe Edge because I'm like, yes, I got in the hype train because of Strobe Edge and I have not looked back. I am so excited. We are getting another series by Io Sakisaka in English. Yes, I am getting it from the very first volume. I am not falling behind this hype train and being like how with Strobe Edge where I need 5 more volumes because I didn't get it when the series was ongoing because I just didn't know, guys. I didn't know how wonderful Io Sakisaka's manga is. It's hard for me to say one thing that is her signature touch. I definitely feel like she has a very unique art style. Like, when you see it, you know it's Io Sakisaka. Like, even with her other series, Let Me Not, like, you can see that is Io Sakisaka's art style. And I really love that because she has a very airy, bright, and big and beautiful art style that I really enjoy. But when it comes to storytelling, I feel like of all of the manga series I have read, she gives me the most angst. She writes love triangles. They're so engaging where you really like both guys. I'm not a fan of love triangles at all, and I struggled with the love triangles in this, but I really liked both the other guys, even if sometimes I didn't always love the decisions that they make. But I think one thing that really stands out is when it comes to the heroes, when it comes to, oh gosh, I'm blanking on their names, guys. Kyo and Haru Ride and Ren and Strobe Edge. Can't believe I forgot their names. I even have a pin of Kyo. Anyway, and Futaba. But yes, as I was saying, I love how she writes male heroes. I feel with Strobe Edge, volume 6, it is a volume I would desperately love to have. It speaks about Ren's depression and his struggle with it and how his friends helped him come out of that depression that really, really spoke to me. Even to this day, there's a scene that lives rent-free in my mind. I do have that mentioned in my review of Strobe Edge if you'd like to check it out. Here's the link. Our Horror Ride had a similar, not story, but it did have that address of mental health, and I really, really appreciate that. I feel like for me personally, that is Io Sakisaka's special touch. It's how she writes these men who have real struggles, and the girls do too, don't get me wrong, but with her young men, her male characters, there is something so powerful, and I always feel so seen in their struggles that I've really, really loved. I will be sorely disappointed if when I read Let Me Not, and it does not have it, as well as her new one. I think it's called, starts with an S, Saku or something like that, or Sakura, something along those lines. But I really, really love that about both of these stories. They stand out in my mind because of that specifically. Also, her heroines are so great. I love how they grow as individuals and how they both set out to do one thing in the beginning and learn more about what they're trying to set out to do and realize it's just not so simple, that friendships can get messy, that love can be messy, and that as you're learning or as you're going out to set out to do this thing, that both of our main girls grow so much. They definitely, their heart gets broken or they feel some hurt and some pain, but that they have happy endings by the end. I just love her work, and I really need to read Let Me Not because I know our library has it, and I'm just like, yes, I love her work. I'm like, Io Sakisaka, you are the only mangaka I will endure all of the angst. Like, I had to put Strobe Edge down, let my heart take a deep breath and breathe for a little bit because the angst was so powerful, but it's so very, very good. For number 5, I also feel like this one was mandatory, and at first I was like, I can't feature it, but that is Sue Morishita, and we're going to feature Shortcake Cake as well as A Sign of Affection. Oh my goodness. And Like a Butterfly, which I have on pre-order, is coming out later this year from Viz Media, and I'm so very, very excited. She is a phenomenal and amazing mangaka. When I think of her special touch, I was like, I think I know, but I'm like, I have not read enough of A Sign of Affection to know, because when it comes to Shortcake Cake, I feel like there is just such this powerful story of where it starts out very romantic and it has all of the love story vibes, and then it goes into healing with the family. But I don't know if A Sign of Affection is the same way. I know that she can make your heart flutter so much, and she writes some really wholesome, meaningful, and very touching romance love stories. She has all of the Doki Doki vibes, or both this duo, because I did talk about them in my manga duo. I mean, both of them together, they give you the Doki Doki vibes, and it is so beautiful. Like, I love their stuff so much. A Sign of Affection continues to be in my top 10 ongoing favorite shoujo josei series. So glad we're getting more volumes this year. Like, yes, I'm so glad the hiatus is over. Their art is absolutely stunning as well, and they write wonderful, swoon-worthy male heroes and very strong and lovable heroines that I also really, really appreciate. Just Sumo Morishita is another one where it's like, it's hard to pinpoint and specifically say it's because of this reason that they are just amazing, because like there's so many reasons that they're absolutely amazing, and I'm just like, yes, yes. Now for my honorable mention, I didn't know shonen, and I was like, look, we gotta do some shonen because there are ladies I know that write shonen manga. So who are we gonna do, guys? Who are we gonna do? Hiromu Arakawa, who did Full Metal Alchemist, because hello, yes, one of the best women that are best female manga that writes shonen has to be spotlight, has to be getting some love, because I love Full Metal Alchemist. I still need to get the other omnibus in this series because it's wonderful. It is wonderful. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I haven't actually read any of her other works, so that sort of breaks the rule. Like, it's an honorable mention. We're just gonna like do our own thing. But I know she has a new series that's coming out. I cannot remember the name of it, but I'll put the cover here. And also, as of like, I think it was like this year, this February, like last month, she announced that she's writing another series. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? And she's also done Silver Spoon as well, which I've heard really great things about. And I'm bummed my library only has like 2-3 volumes, and they're like weird. It's like volume 1, 7, and then we'll say 9. Very, very weird. But Full Metal Alchemist definitely has a special place in my heart. I love these characters. I need to reread it this year because I already missed the characters because I read them last summer when we didn't have AC. So I'm like, I would love to read them when I do have AC and I'm able to focus, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, I'm so hot right now. I wish that it was colder right where I am. If you haven't read Full Metal Alchemist, though, I highly recommend it. I read it for the very first time last year, and it was just an unforgettable experience. I was so pulled in on this journey and this adventure. There's so much great humor and great action and just overall just great storytelling that left me so hooked and so engaged that I'm like, I don't care. Well, I did care a little bit, that I'm like, I don't care that it's so hot, and I'm having, like, I mainly read at nighttime, so I have my flashlight sitting by my window and my fan just reading. I was like, I feel like a little kid. This definitely has some nostalgia to it for me because of that reason, and how I was like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to read these volumes. Even when I was at my parents' house and my kids are running around, I'm like, I'm gonna read this volume. It's just so great. And of course, like I said, I had to feature her because she's great, and I'm like, I love when I hear about women that are writing shonen manga, because sometimes I think that maybe that there's this stigma, I think it's the right word, of like, if you're a woman then you have to write shoujo, and if you're a man you have to write shonen. Because I think it's great too when, like, I just discovered it's a Kickstarter that's ongoing. I guess I should leave a link here so in case you want to check it out, but he is writing a shoujo manga and it is about a mermaid. I was so surprised when I saw that it's a young man that's working on this shoujo manga, and I'm like, yes, like, I think it's great to break that mold and that stereotype that because of your gender you have to write like any certain thing. Like, no, you could write whatever you want regardless of your gender. So Full Metal Alchemist is just another, well, Hiromu Arakawa is another example of that, and so I'm like, she has to be featured for today, especially because it's International Women's Day. And those are all my picks for today. I'm really excited about them. They were all awesome. I mean, maybe that sounds weird because I'm the one filming, but it just made me happy to see how many wonderful female manga creators there are. I mean, every manga creator is awesome. No way I could do what they're doing, so I'm thankful for every single manga creator, but it was very special to just spotlight these female manga creators for International Women's Day, which was just great to just honor and celebrate for today. I would love to hear from you, friends. What are some of your favorite female manga creators, or maybe your favorite female authors? Let me know down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!